All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Toronto Raptors video. We're going to talk about like a handful of things, maybe two, maybe three, maybe four. A couple of things why the Toronto Raptors are way better than they appear right now. So the Raptors, they got a much needed win a couple of days ago. They do play later today. So I got you guys probably with a recap later tonight. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I post Raptors content just about every single day. And let's try and get this video to 100 likes. That would be awesome. We're really trying to hit 9,000 subscribers by the end of the month, and we're still like 70 away. So every like, it really helps out the algorithm. I was reading an article online, and I saw an article talking about a handful of things on why like you really shouldn't be sleeping on the Raptors. And I read it, and I'm like, wow, like a non-Raptors company is writing positively about the Raptors, and they brought up some really good points. And it was the 3 points were bad home record, I think injuries, and the improvement of Scotty Barnes. And those are 3 great points. The Toronto Raptors this season are 2-6 at home, and it's really important to just keep in mind they've played over a year. It's been almost 2 years not playing in the Scotiabank. It's just insane. Like, if you really, really think about it, imagine, like, it's probably a little harder for Raptors fans because they've dealt with it for the last 2 years, but like, as a non-Raptors guy, I'm like thinking to myself, like, what if the Chicago Bulls played a year and a half in like Edmonton? It's like, what? Like, obviously there's nothing wrong with Edmonton. There's nothing wrong with Tampa Bay. It's just like, what? Like, that's not our home. We're not the Edmonton Bulls. They're not the Tampa Bay Raptors. So the fact that that happened, it blows my mind. I mean, it literally blows my mind. I remember one time I was like talking about this, and someone commented the last time this happened was like 1932, and like the, you know, right after the war and the Stanley Cup or something. Like, it was something really long ago, where it's, if you play over one season, it's like they haven't played 2 straight playoffs in home. You had the bubble. They were in Tampa for the bubble, and then right after the bubble, they had to play another year in Tampa. So it's like, it's going to take them a little bit. The article was hinting at nerves. I don't think it's nerves at all. I really think it's just, it's probably just very different for them. It's probably just very different, and it's definitely taking them a little bit. And Pascal Siakam coming back, it doesn't help. One thing that's like going, or it's like kind of being overlooked, is the Raptors' injuries. I mean, they have 3 players who have played all 17 games. 3 players. That's nothing. I mean, that is absolutely nothing. 3 players. Pascal being back, it's going to help them a lot. And it seems as if Raptors fans they're coming to terms where it's like, you know, maybe Siakam isn't the best long-term route. Maybe he's not. But I'm not in a rush to trade him, and I trust Masai. So if Masai either decides to not trade him and keep him, trust it. Or if he decides to trade him, get some value back, trust it. So there's a lot of faith in Masai. There's a lot of faith in Bobby. And it seems as if like Pascal, you know, he had a really efficient, missed 2 shots, scored 30 plus the other night against Sacramento. But, you know, how much better does he make the Raptors? It's still kind of remaining to be seen. And so that is what's going on right now, where it's like his return, a lot of people were thinking it was going to be like a quick, simple solution for the Raptors, like lack of wins at the time. Is not just Pascal. I mean, they're without a lot of players, and it's not even long term. It's not even that long term. Obviously, you do have OGs, but like, I mean, Yuta's been a little long term. Khem Birch, you know, miss a couple games here and there. Fred miss a game here. It's just all these guys. Precious Achiuwa's missed a handful of games here. It's just all these guys missing, like, either a game or 2 or maybe even 3, and it throws everything off. I mean, I can't remember who the 3 were. I think it's like Malachi, but Malachi hasn't played. So it was like Delano Banton, Svi, and can't remember the other. But you get what I'm saying, is if your team's injured for pretty much every game, it's going to be really hard to get the chemistry going. And OG, it appears the good news is the Raptors don't seem to be worried about him. But hopefully he can come back really soon, man, because they really do need him. And OG was looking like he was about to he was starting to break out on offense. You know, he was coming off that 6 of 10 from downtown night. He was averaging 20 points per game on relatively inefficient shooting in comparison to what he's been able to do. So it's like, I have faith that this Raptors team they're only just getting started. And I don't know if it's all going to come together this season. I do think it'll come together at parts this season, particularly the late part of the season. But I don't think they're clearly not at their max. They're not at their peak right now. So you have some options at the deadline, and I'm going to be very interested to see what they decide to do, because as we were just mentioning, you could trade Pascal. You could trade him. You could try and get a lot of value back for him. Whenever the trade deadline comes, it's not like he's going to have missed, the last couple of games. So Pascal, he's back, he's healthy, plays consistently, starts maybe getting some wins. I don't think that the Raptors would trade him. So it kind of goes for Goran. Also Chris Boucher. I just made that video on a Chris Boucher and Goran trade. Now, I really think Chris Boucher is going to get traded. I don't think he's doing much for him. And then same thing with Goran. I saw a comment I think it was on my YouTube channel. I saw a comment yesterday where someone was like, the Raptors have about $25 million at that center position if they trade those two guys. It was on my Raptors trade video. Basically, if you trade Goran and his $18 million contract, and you trade Chris Boucher and his, $9 million? It's at least $7 million. So it's at least $25 million. You have $25 million to go for an elite center. And when I'm thinking elite center, I'm literally thinking of Karl Anthony Towns. I know Karl Anthony Towns would be an MVP candidate if he was in Toronto. If he was on the Raptors, he would be an MVP candidate. That's a move that I think the Raptors should do. Maybe not specifically that, but if you can trade Siakam for a proven young superstar center, I don't think that there's an issue with that. I really don't think that there's an issue with that. I know that a lot of fans, don't want to lose Siakam, especially when you win a championship. There's already a bias in general for teams that you support. You don't want players on that team to leave. Even more so if you win a championship. So I understand it both ways, where some people want to trade Siakam, some people don't want to trade Siakam. I'm probably going to make a whole Siakam video at some point in this week once school settles down a little bit. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on that, again, down below. But it does go to show you, you have some options here, because that is a decent amount of money that the Raptors are going to have $18 million open at the end of the year anyways. And that was another huge thing at the start of the season, was the Raptors, one of the reasons that they're set up so well is that their future is set up so well. It really is set up for years and years and years of success. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Let me know some comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on why this Raptors team might have started off a little bit slow. I don't think it really is rocket science. You can combine a lot of different factors to their slow start. But let me know your thoughts on this Raptors team right now down below. I will see you guys later. Hit that like button. Peace.